Jessie Woo, VBS. I just turn the water on. Big old flex. You never saw before. He's chasing me like waterfall. What's up, guys? It's your sister, Jessie Woo. Welcome to another episode of Just a Couple Things, y'all. The podcast, all right? Happy New Year. Oh my gosh, 2025. We made it. Never would have made it. Never would have made it. Lord have mercy. But before we get into all things 2025 and some things that happened at the end of 2024, again, I want to thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of Just a Couple Things podcast. Make sure that you follow Just a Couple Things podcast on every podcast streaming platform. So I'm going to show you the little screenshots of how you can make sure that you're following me, whether it's on iTunes, you click follow. Is it iTunes or the Apple people or the Apple podcast? I think it's Apple Podcasts. Click follow. If you are on Spotify, here is how you follow me on Spotify. And I think it's basically the same thing on most podcast streaming platforms. Make sure that you're following Just a Couple Things so you know whenever I drop a new podcast episode, okay? Because 2025, we dropping. we dropping, baby, okay? We is dropping it like it's hot, okay? But y'all, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Welcome back. So many things took place right before we went away for the holidays. Oh my God, there's so many things to talk about. I mean, but before I get into all those different things, I love to start off with something that has to do with music. Y'all know I love to talk about music, and y'all know I love to talk about something I just watched. So you know what? Maybe we'll make this a new segment called What the Fuck Did I Just Watch? What the beep did I just watch? Okay, so HBO has this documentary that I watched over the holidays, and it's called, I believe it's called HBO Yacht Rock. It's called the Yacht Rock documentary. And for those of you guys who don't know what Yacht Rock is a certain genre of music that lived from the mid-70s to the mid-80s. And you know what? We gonna call this the white niggas genre. Okay? This is the white niggas genre. White men's was singing down. I'm talking about these ain't just any white men's. These is white niggas. These white men was singing. If we ever had soul singing from white people, it was Yacht Rock. These men's was straight out of Pentecostal church, okay? Do y'all know Chris Tomlin? Hold on, because y'all know I'm saved. Chris Tomlin. What? I know who goes before me. I know who stands behind. The God of angel armies. He's always by my side. That's Chris Tomlin, okay? Imagine Chris Tomlin singing soul music about his woman leaving him. White niggas. Yacht Rock. Okay? You had to have a Pentecostal soul to sing Yacht Rock. And so as I was watching the Yacht Rock documentary, I never knew that there was a title. I didn't know that this was actually a actual genre because I love so many of these songs, okay? Now, before we get into the songs, I just want to say this, right? Because we're going to talk about a couple iconic white niggas. Okay, Michael McDonald, iconic white nigga. There's a difference between a white nigga and a wigger, okay? White nigga, Michael McDonald. White nigga, Kenny Loggins. White niggas, Toto, okay? Wigger, Beverly Hills Most Wanted, okay? You don't want that. You don't want a wigger, okay? Wigger is white men that go around making black women baby mamas. We're not doing that in 2025, okay? Wigger is Tamar's ex-husband. Wigger, okay? White niggas. These niggas is iconic, okay? And we're going to get into the iconic white niggery of it all. And what makes white niggas so iconic is they're not infiltrating. They're not appropriating. They congregating. You know what I'm saying? They procreating, they appreciating. And that's what made yacht rock so iconic, because it didn't feel like these white folks were trying to take away a sound from Black folks. It felt celebratory of Black music. And so easily, yacht rock, these white men who were singing yacht rock, a lot of times what put them on the map was Black DJs. It was the Black people at the cookouts playing their music. And a lot of times Black people didn't even know that these was white niggas. We're going to get into that a little while. But it was just such an iconic genre. I mean, and just to give you a taste of what yacht rock is, I'm going to give you my 5 top yacht rock songs. Okay? Number 5, Kenny Loggins. This is it. Iconic. Okay? Kenny Loggins was in that damn booth getting his Donna Summers on. It was a lot of it was just giving, is there semen on the floor? Somebody check the floor in the studio, please. Somebody check the booth. It's a lot going on back there with Kenny. And when you listen to This Is It, you hear a lot of the background vocals, and Michael McDonald is all over the backgrounds of this song. And when you watch the documentary, you find out that when it came to yacht rock, Michael McDonald was kind of like, he was an arranger for so many different singers and groups within the yacht rock genre. So when you listen to a lot of them, whether it be Kenny Loggins, whether it be Christopher Cross, you hear Michael McDonald a lot because like he was the king of that shit. Okay, so number 4, I got to give my 4th favorite yacht rock song to Michael McDonald, I Keep Forgetting. Baby, the way Black people ran that song into the motherfucking ground, baby. I keep forgetting we're not in love anymore. I keep forgetting things will never be the same again. We know that song. Remember when Warren G sampled that? I think Warren G sampled that in the 90s, like 2 decades later, and revived that genre in a bit. But Michael McDonald is the undisputed king of the white niggas, the king of yacht rock, okay? Number 3, my number 3 top yacht rock song goes to Bobby Caldwell. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you don't give up. In my world, only you made me do for love what I would not do. Yo. My friends counting what is wrong with me, 'cause I'm in a daze from your love disease. Like, oh my God, like, that song is so iconic. And this is the most white nigga ass song of all time to me, because when you listen to the song, you cannot tell me that's not a Black man singing that song. Well, lo and behold and lo, when the music video came out for this song, and motherfuckers saw that Bobby Caldwell was not a Black, the eruption that happened when people found out this man is not Black. And what's crazy too is, again, back then, you couldn't really tell that a lot of these singers were white niggas, because music videos were not a big thing. Back then in the 70s, it was creeping up, but it wasn't as huge. And everybody didn't have access to music videos. It's not like today where we could just, turn our phones, go to our phones and watch a music video. But also, a lot of these singers would have album covers that didn't have their faces on it. Bobby Caldwell, What You Won't Do, doesn't even have his face on it. You just see a shadow of this man. And so again, folks were playing that song into the ground, and lo and behold and lo, white nigga. This man is not even black. But black people didn't give a fuck because it was so damn good. It was yacht rock. That was yacht rock. Oh my gosh. My top 2 favorite yacht rock song has to go to Christopher Cross. Sailing takes me away to where I always needed to be. Oh my gosh. What a masterpiece. What a masterpiece. Over the holiday, I went on a Virgin Voyage cruise with my man, and that first night, I ran Sailing into the ground. Like, there's even a post of us that I put up with that song in the background. I could not wait to get on that ship and play Sailing. Like, it's just something about that song. It is just a beautiful masterpiece. And Christopher Cross, I believe he won 5 Grammys for that album. And I think he didn't even have an album. Actually, hold on. Christopher Cross burst onto the music scene with his 1980 self-titled debut album, winning 5 Grammy Awards, including the first time in Grammy history, the Big Four most prestigious awards, Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best New Artist. The next person who would break that record was Billie Eilish a couple years back. It took over 30 years for that record to actually, she didn't even break the record. She just matched the record. So that man made history with that album. And again, notably, if you look at the album, there is no face. There's no face. So if you're enjoying this song, really, you don't really know that this man is not black. Unless you watch the Grammys or unless you really went out of your way to look up Christopher Cross. My number 1 yacht rock song, no debate, is Toto, Africa. It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I guess it rains down in Africa. What the fuck? I hear the drums echoing tonight. What are we talking about? Even when you look at the lyrics, hear the drums echoing tonight, but she hears only whispers of some quiet conversation. Damn, I can't even get the lyrics. I can't even get the down to the melody is so low, then it goes high, then it goes low, and all of a sudden it's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. Like, I'm sorry, but there's something that happens to me when that song comes on. I guess it rains down in Africa. It's gonna take a lot to do the things we never have. Ooh, it's the ooh. I don't know. Them white niggas was cooking up. Mid-70s to mid-80s, them white niggas was cooking up. And those are my top favorite yacht rock songs of all time. And as I watched the documentary, I learned so much, including the fact that there were black people who sang yacht rock, which I never really learned the term yacht rock until like last year. It was Mr. Easter who said it to me. And then on YouTube, there was this big old skit that these white guys made, I think 15 years ago, and they called it yacht rock, and they made a film mocking the creation of the genre. And so that's when the genre was given a name. But anyway, I mean, people like Bill Withers, A Lovely Day. First of all, why did Bill Withers sing that chorus and just not give us no, A Lovely Day? It just was just so monotone. But it's such an iconic song. Earth, Wind, and Fire, my favorite band of all time. September. Do you remember? Iconic. The Pointer Sisters, I'm so excited. Like, there were black people in the genre, but the most popular people from the genre tended to be white people. But watching the documentary, you learn what happened to the genre to kill it. And white niggas, like I said, white niggas, yacht rock, white niggas, they owned this genre. They were breaking all types of records. I mean, they were making so much money. But then a nigga came in and ended it all. And that black king was none other than Michael Jackson. So when you watch the documentary, you learn that in the making of Thriller, a lot of the yacht rock writers and producers were actually involved in the making of Thriller. Human Nature is actually a yacht rock song. Human Nature was written by a yacht rock singer and writer. And so in the documentary, you hear the guy singing it, doing the cover, and then Berry Gordy, of course, ushered that song into the Human Nature, into the Thriller project. And so Human Nature is a yacht rock song. Now, here's the irony of it all. And oh my God, Human Nature, one of the best songs I've ever heard. Why? Tell them that it's human nature. Why? Gotta do me that way. Like, it's just such a beautiful song, right? It's such a beautiful song. SWV remade it, beautiful. But what happens is, with the Thriller album, Michael Jackson starts doing these videos that are out of this world. Okay? Y'all remember Billie Jean. Y'all remember Thriller itself, right? So when Michael Jackson comes in and has this this song from Yacht Rock as one of his singles, and also he has these other major singles, and he has the videos to accompany them, he kills the entire yacht rock genre. And how does he do that? Because, first of all, these was white niggas. A lot of people didn't know that they were actually white and not black. But then also, they weren't attractive. I'm sorry. They weren't attractive. Michael McDonald was cute. Kenny Loggins, meh. But then you go to Christopher Cross, and it's like, baby, Christopher Cross, it's a video right here. Christopher Cross is on stage singing Sailing. What is he wearing? This man looks like he's a tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, it's just not giving superstar. It's not giving attractive, right? Michael Jackson is undisputedly one of the most attractive men we've ever seen in music. Then he dances. He's doing backflips. He's walking on the moon and shit. Them white niggas couldn't walk on no moon. Okay? And so now the public, the industry was demanding more, and they just could not compete. And so literally, video killed the radio star. That's where that song comes from. Video killed the radio star. I mean, I'm sorry. I know I'm just getting deep into this, but please watch the Yacht Rock documentary. You learn so much about music. I also watched the CNN Luther Vandross documentary the other day, and that was another really good documentary. I had no idea Luther Vandross was out here singing jingles. Okay? So black people singing about food, like, it's it's nothing new. He was out here singing about food. He was out here singing about detergent, whatever. He was out here arranging different songs for different people, doing background vocals. He was literally the Michael McDonald of R&B. It was just amazing. It's an amazing documentary. They also kind of address his sexuality, and there is a clip where you see Patti LaBelle. She did a interview on Watch What Happens Live where she basically talked about the fact that, like, yeah, he definitely was gay, but, it was nobody's business, you know what I mean? And people are trying to villainize her for it because Luther Vandross never talked about his sexuality. As a matter of fact, when he would be asked about his sexuality, he would always be like, yo, I don't owe y'all nothing but my best work. And when you come to my concerts, you're going to get a fucking show. When you listen to my records, you're going to hear great music. That's all I owe y'all. I don't have to explain to y'all who's doing the bending. Okay? And it's such a beautiful documentary as well. So those are just a couple things that I just watched, and I thought that they were amazing, amazing watches. So Yacht Rock documentary, Luther Vandross documentary on CNN. And the Luther Vandross documentary was produced by Mr. Easter's friend Phil. They're also working on a big documentary coming up too. So I'm excited about that. All right. Just a couple things. Let's talk about more things that happened before the break. Oh my God, Beyonce Bowl. I mean, Beyonce finally giving us some Cowboy Carter action was amazing. The show, the presentation, the way that she included the other 4 country singers with her, and I feel like nobody's really talking about that note that they all hold together when she's coming in and 16 carriages driving away while she's singing her song, but then she goes and she sings Blackbird living in a day of night. I don't know why I'm forgetting lyrics, but she sings that song with the other 4 country singers, and they have this note that they hold, this like, it's like this crazy note that nobody's talking about. They did it in harmony. Nobody's talking about that. Why are y'all not talking about that? I'm gonna talk about it. But the performance was great. I mean, Blue Ivy Carter, my Lord, the way she was boom cacking behind her mama, yes, God. Give her 10s. Amazing performance. I remember watching the Renaissance documentary and Beyonce talking about how Blue Ivy would see all the commentary about how she sucked when she first came out dancing on the Renaissance tour. And to go from crying about comments to seeing her boom cack like that on Christmas Day, amazing. But Beyonce Bowl brought up so much conversation online. Like, yo, there's this one girl on TikTok. Baby, Lord. Whew. There's this one girl on TikTok that made commentary because it's one mixed girl on TikTok was talking about the fact that, yeah, I love Beyonce, but we're not going to ignore the fact that her performing on Christmas Day for the NFL is not like, problematic or what have you. And I have my thoughts on that. I mean, I will definitely say that I always found it interesting that Beyonce and Jay-Z went from supporting Kaepernick, awarding Kaepernick for kneeling, to being in bed with the NFL. And Jay-Z saying, okay, we're past kneeling. And then basically, enlarging his riches and partnering with this organization that had such an issue with Kaepernick kneeling, but had no issues with these players that were on the sideline with the MAGA hats. You know what I'm saying? But that aside, so people were having that dialogue, and there's this one girl who was like, listen, if the first titty you suckled on was your oppressor's titty, you have no place to dictate how Black people talk about Black things. I screamed. I screamed. Suckled was crazy. But yeah, drop in the comments or, when you're leaving me a review, make sure that you're leaving me 5 stars. Let me know your thoughts on Beyonce Bowl. I thought the Beyonce Bowl was great. I thought it was a great piece of work. I'm always going to be a fan of Beyonce's work, but I do have my thoughts on her and her husband continuously partnering with the NFL and basically shutting down this man's protests. I have thoughts on that. And all those thoughts are valid and I can still enjoy her performance. I think that Beyonce is a performer. Point blank, period. I think she's a performer. Everything she does is performance based. Do with that what you will. I'm here for the art. Point blank, period. All right, y'all. Going into the year, I mean, Lord have mercy. We had Teslas blowing up down to the Trump Towers. We had the New Orleans attack, which was so bizarre. And it's crazy when they showed the guy, I can't remember his name, but the guy who drove his car into a crowd on New Orleans on New Year's, when they were showing him, I was like, is this AI? Because like the videos that they had of him talking, it looked so AI, but it turned out to be a real man. And then it turned out that the Tesla that exploded in front of the Trump Towers, New Year's, that was orchestrated. But then there was a Tesla that blew up here in Georgia too. So I don't know. And even going into the New Year's, you had Kim, Elon Musk Kardashians with her Skims launch. And it was just interesting watching Black women when we all said we were going to focus on the 92%. Oh my God, let me show you guys my new Skims and Dolce & Gabbana. Let me show you guys my new Skims. Y'all didn't notice how Kim said nothing during the election, but she continues to gift everybody around her a Tesla? You got Courtney, who's about to have a podcast exclusively on X. The girlies are letting you know that they're anti-92%. But y'all continuing, oh, let me do my Skims. Get ready with me, Skims. All right. All right, y'all. Yesterday was January 6th. We are recording this on January 7th. Yesterday was January 6th, child. Y'all know what January 6th stands for, child. And this was pretty interesting. So yesterday you had Kamala Harris, who was swearing in Nebraska Senator Fisher, and you had her asshole husband basically snub her and disrespect her when she reached for a handshake. And so many people are upset with him, and as they should be, but I thought his wife not nudging him or anything, I thought that was fucking weird too. Like, it just all just gave, like, it was just racist. It was racist as hell. But then also, there were people who were like, oh, well, maybe that's just who he is. Maybe that's how he is. Well, there's another video of him in the same room. His wife is being sworn in by Mike Pence, and baby, he all but swallowed Mike Pence. Shook his hand and all. Like, stop gaslighting Black people, please. Stop gaslighting us, please. Okay? It was racist and it was fucked up. And Kamala Harris is better than me, baby. I would have walked off. You wouldn't have got no picture. Point blank, period. Picture these nuts. Period. Justin Trudeau done resign. I need a moment. Oh, Canada. Back up. What the fuck is I'm gonna do now? What the fuck is I'm gonna do now? They done made Justin Trudeau resign. What the fuck? What is going on? Mind you, I'm already possibly facing deportation because Trump said he finna send even the naturalized people back. He not just sending the I will vote for Donald Trump. He not just sending the Hispanics that vote for Donald Trump. He said he's sending everybody the fuck back. I thought I belonged to Trudeau, and I don't, because he resigned. Trudeau resigned, child. He announced, Lord, I can't forget the Lord Jesus, I can't. Justin Trudeau announced his resignation as prime minister yesterday, child, with his Liberal Party in turmoil amid declining poll numbers and an election on the horizon. Now, mind you, his party has been treating him like shit, okay? That man been the head of the party for 9 years now, but the party they've been treating that man like total shit. And apparently someone who's on the rise right now is Pierre-Marcel Poilievre. Pierre is a Canadian politician who has served for the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada since 2022. And he has a lot of similarities to Trump, okay? It's giving anti-abortion, it's giving anti-gay, it's giving anti-black, okay? But he's soft on immigration and he does not want to turn Canada into another state. So I guess that's where he differs with Trump. But basically they calling him Trump Hitler Jr., okay? So I don't know, what is I supposed to do now? All right, let's get into some lighter news, child. So during the Christmas break, you had some couple sightings. Mariah Carey and Anderson .Paak. What is happening? What is going on? Apparently, they is really together. Okay, now Anderson is 38, Mariah is 55. And people were celebrating their union. People like, yes, bitch, get your groove back, Stella. Get your groove back, Stella. But then all of a sudden you had Drea Michelle come in and say, wow, y'all is real selective with y'all outrage. Drea Michelle, who is 39 years old, gave birth to her 22-year-old boyfriend's baby last year. And she feels that the age gap between Mariah Carey, which is 55 to 38, is the same as a 39-year-old woman sleeping with a 22-year-old man. Mind you, if you had a baby last year, that means you was fucking that man when he was 21. That's not the same thing. Y'all drop down in the comments, let me know if that's the same thing. That's not that same thing, Drea. That's not that same thing. There was this tweet that said Drea Michelle took her 22-year-old son, Nico Howard, to watch his 22-year-old stepfather, Jalen Green, hoop. Do you know how diabolical this is? Like, this is so diabolical. This is not the same thing. Please, girl, please. Another couple that made their debut, Paige Hurd. Paige Hurd and NBA player Royce O'Neal. And I saw this on Threads. And this caption was so crazy. So they had Christmas photos together and they posted their Christmas photos together. And somebody put, Royce O'Neal shares holiday pictures with Paige Hurd. And the caption says, when you in the NBA, you could get anybody for real. I was so puzzled because I'm looking, I'm like, this is a handsome man. He's handsome. He's tall. He's dark. Ain't that what everybody want? Don't we all want somebody tall, dark, and handsome? And the men in the comments are like dragging, oh, it's because he got money. It's because he got money. Paige Hurd, DMX's goddaughter. Paige, who's been acting for like 20 years now, she got her own money. She don't need. Paige is very much INDEP. You know what I'm saying? I mean, very independent. How you spell independent again? INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means? Not me having to rap the song to remember how to spell independent. Lord. But I was very puzzled because this man looks handsome. He's tall. He's dark. And the men are in the comments dragging him saying, oh, it's because he got money. And it's like, you men are projecting. You know what we need to have a conversation about this year? The fact that men be online gaslighting women saying that we don't date them because they don't have money. That's not true. I don't care what these podcasters be talking about. I don't care what these panels be talking about. A lot of women, specifically, unfortunately, black women's, are with men who don't have a lot of money. A lot of women are with men who don't make more money than them. That's just a reality. Statistics have already proven that. Okay? Those of you men who are not getting the women that you want, the truth is a lot of you guys are boring. I was single for 6 years. I went on plenty of dates. Some of y'all are boring. Some of y'all come on these dates, you have nothing to talk about. You have no conversation. You're not exciting. You don't plan an actual experience. Say hookah, Hennessy, lamb chops. Hookah, Hennessy, lamb chops. Hookah, Hennessy, lamb chops. That's the only thing y'all be having to offer. Let's just be honest. Nou pa gen passport. Y'all don't be having no damn passports. You don't want to travel nowhere. You don't want to try different food. Say lamb chops. Lamb chops, mashed potato, hookah, Hennessy. Always the same thing. It's no adventure with y'all. Y'all not adventurous. Y'all not exciting. Y'all are boring. I've been with men before who didn't have a lot of money. But you know what? They were exciting. They were exciting. They were fun. They were willing to do things that they hadn't done before. And even in my time when I was dating non-black men, when I went on dates with white men, them white niggas was fun. They was fun as fuck. The conversations we would have, they would talk about shit that I ain't never heard people from my community talk about. They were willing to let their hair down. They were willing to tell me things about themselves that were embarrassing. Y'all don't be fun. Y'all don't be an experience. Ask yourself, if you are a man in the dating pool right now and you're not getting the women that you really want, ask yourself, are you an experience? We want an experience this year. Experience. When we're dating this year, 2025, we want an experience. Give me an experience. Give me something exciting. Give me something I can call my homegirl and be like, girl, guess what the fuck we did today? Okay? Y'all are boring. And y'all are projecting your insecurities onto this man that doesn't deserve that. My Lord. Some couples broke up. During the break, some couples broke up, child. Hold on. Naomi Osaka. Naomi Osaka, she announced this a couple days back. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to say that Corday and I are no longer together, are no longer in a relationship. No bad blood at all. He's a great person and an awesome dad. Honestly, really glad our paths crossed because my daughter is my biggest blessing and I was able to grow a lot from our experiences together. All right. Naomi, where have you been lately? Where have you been? What are your thoughts on her and Corday not working out? This is just bizarre to me. And is it me? Or I just feel like once she got with Corday, she had the baby. I just feel like I really don't hear about her anymore. What happened? There are couples that y'all are trying to make happen. The Jennifer Hudson show had Aaron Pierre there recently, and there is a video of him in the tunnel. Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. Okay? And there are these TikToks of girlies saying, oh my God, Lori Harvey looking at this video right now as she plots on her next beans and toast nigga. This gonna be her next beans and toast nigga. Whole time, I'm here to gag y'all. Lori and Damson are still together. They're still together, y'all. Lori did show up in somebody's comment section and say, no, thank you. But yeah, they're still together, y'all. This is a video of Damson Idris partying with John Boyega, another beans and toast nigga, and you have Lori Harvey in the background. This is them at Halloween. very much together. They still together, y'all, okay? They're just keeping it on the low as they should. I hope they keep doing that. We have Lizzo, who went on the Keke Palmer podcast and finally talked about the Booty Banana scandal. Okay? She was on the Keke Palmer podcast and she talked about the lawsuits that she was facing. And she had this to say, which, by the way, on the podcast, Lizzo took zero accountability. Like, no accountability whatsoever for anything that happened. She basically denied that all of this stuff took place the way her accusers framed it. And she also had this to say. Hold on.
And you can ask me anything about it because I got dismissed from the case.
Yeah, that's a big weight off your shoulders, I'm sure.
Yes, and we're continuing to fight the other claims until they're all dismissed. And not dropped, dismissed.
My problem with her saying that the judge dropped the lawsuits because the evidence was evidencing against the claims is she lied. And baby, I love Miss Twerk with a flute, but she lied. Her case, according to Rolling Stone, okay, her case, a federal judge in Los Angeles has ruled plaintiff Asha Daniels has no standing to sue Lizzo as an individual after identifying that the Grammy winners' touring and payroll companies as her employers. Okay? So what the judge said was it is dismissed because the lawsuit was filed against Lizzo instead of it being filed against her companies or against the touring company, which might be hers, or maybe she's a partner with it, but whatever the case. So most likely these plaintiffs will still have to refile and file it correctly, not just file against her and her tour manager, but file it against the company. And as I was reading that, I was just thinking to myself, why wasn't that done from the beginning? Some of these lawyers, I'm just like, if something happens to me that's inappropriate at my job, I'm going to sue my place of work. Don't get it twisted. I might sue the individual as well, but I'm not just going to sue the individual. I'm going to sue the umbrella because this happened on your watch. So I can't believe that these people didn't file it that way to begin with. But yeah. But anyway, she took no responsibility, no accountability. She just said that, you know what, like, she liked to go down to the red light district and watch, strippers put bananas in their booty hole. And she invited everybody else to come down because that's something she liked to do. She didn't really think much of it. And I don't really villainize her for that. I feel like the only thing wrong, in my opinion, is I think that Lizzo just really didn't realize the power dynamics that she has. You're the leader. And when you're saying, hey guys, I'm going here, let's go, people will oftentimes feel pressure to do it because all of us have been in a work setting where you notice that the people who hang out with the boss, the people who, chit chat more and frolic more with the boss tend to get more from the boss. They'll get more hours. They'll get the easier phone calls if you guys are, at a call center. Like, they get perks. There's perks that come with frolicking with the boss. And so I feel like when Lizzo was talking to Keke, she just was totally oblivious to that on purpose. And I just feel like, and she said this, that it was a lesson for her to learn. And there's just boundaries that you don't cross. Speaking of boundaries that you don't cross, my Lord, Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor, Charles Dixon, Fox Sports are all being sued by a former hairstylist. And the lawsuit is insane. The lawsuit was filed by Faraji Nushin, I believe she was an employee of Fox Sports for 11, 12 years, full time for 10 of those years, 10 or 9 of those years. Anyway, she's part of a class action lawsuit. And in the class action lawsuit, several people are suing, I believe, Fox Sports and I'll just say Fox Sports, the corporation, and all their LLCs or their corporations under their umbrella. The class action lawsuit, these people are suing Fox Sports for failure to pay minimum wage, failure to pay overtime wages, failure to reimburse business expenses, failure to pay all wages upon separation, failure to furnish accurate itemized wage statements, unfair, unlawful, or fraudulent business practices. Like, this is insane. It's a very serious lawsuit. But in addition to the class action lawsuit, Miss Faraji is suing Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor, and Charles Dixon for sexual battery, hostile work environment, sex, gender, hostile work environment, race, national origin, Lord, hostile work environment, disability, my Lord, failure to prevent harassment, negligent supervision, hiring and retention, retaliation, wrongful termination. It's a lot going on. Joy Taylor is getting dragged right now. And mind you, this is all alleged. This is all alleged. This is in this lawsuit, but bitch, I believe it. I believe everything in this lawsuit because there are too many public receipts that match what's in the lawsuit. But anyway, it's alleged. Who cares what I believe, right? But I believe it. Let's talk about the Skip Bayless part of the lawsuit because so many people are talking about Joy, and how she was busting it wide open and Tootsie rolling on every piece of booty banana she could find, down to the Fox Sports. Skip Bayless, she accuses Skip Bayless of offering to pay her $1.5 million to have sex. This is crazy. Let me go ahead down to the lawsuit. Hold on. And let me tell y'all something. When I be laughing, I'm not laughing at the what actually happened. It's just it just be like, what what is going on? So just want to put that there. But anyway, Miss Faraji believes she has cancer. So there was there was a moment in, I believe, I'm trying to find the year, 2020 or 2021. She believes she had cancer, conveyed this to Skip Bayless in an attempt to stop his advances, right? So he had been making advances towards her. He had been trying to grope her for like a year and a half, okay? And she just would not succumb to his advances. She said, over the years, Mr. Bayless continued to make advances on Miss Faraji, lingering hugs, kisses on the cheek, inappropriate comments that he could change her life if she acquiesced to having sex with him. Miss Faraji would always make excuses regarding her son, politely change the subject, or make a joke, anything to keep Mr. Bayless appeased and her job safe. She also details in the lawsuit that she and a lot of the workers were told to make sure that the talent was appeased. Keep the talent happy, which I think is a very problematic thing to say. In July 2021, Miss Faraji developed issues with her left ovary and was advised it could be cancer. With a fourth biopsy scheduled, she explained her situation to Mr. Bayless, hoping that he would take pity on her and cease his advances. Instead, Mr. Bayless told her that he wanted to be with her. Miss Faraji panicked and began rambling that there were cameras everywhere, that she has a child, and that she does not want to be with him. Mr. Bayless then grabbed her hands, began kissing them, and offered her $1.5 million to have sex. Miss Faraji made an excuse and leave. Could you imagine telling the motherfucker, I have cancer, and he's like, oh my God, let's fuck? hey, I have ovarian cancer. Oh, I'm so sorry for you. Come suck this dick. What is happening? What is going on down to Fox Sports? What's going on? She also talked about the fact that her job was threatened because she wouldn't sleep with him. On April 12, 2022, Mr. Bayless texts Miss Faraji, "I'm good today." The text meant that I would not be coming in for hair and makeup. He would also text her on another day, the following day, "Not comfortable coming down there. Just do what you need to do. It's okay." So basically, like, she's the hairstylist on set. She does his hair, she cuts his hair. And so now he was creating distance between him and her. And as talent, when you do that, you are signaling the company to get rid of this person. Point blank, period. Okay? She also said that Mr. Bayless accused her of hunching Shannon Sharpe. She said that Mr. Bayless answered the door, and before Miss Faraji could speak, he began to angrily accuse Miss Faraji of hunching Mr. Sharpe. Miss Faraji tried to explain that she did not have any feelings towards Mr. Sharpe, and she had never slept with him or any other talent member or employee at Fox. But before she could speak, Mr. Bayless demanded she come to his car after the show. This was what was going down to the Fox Sports. Okay? Let's talk about Mr. Dixon. So Charlie Dixon, or Charles Dixon, is, I believe he is he's the vice president of content for FS1 Fox Sports. She talked about the fact that Joy Taylor, who became talent around 2016, which is so interesting to me because I'm from, you guys know I grew up in Miami. And I used to see Joy Taylor around there all the time. And I think I would see her like doing the sports stuff. And I believe it's because, number one, I think her brother is Jason Taylor. He used to be a Miami Dolphin. So I kind of would see her around doing that stuff, then doing the sports commentary. But I always wondered when I saw her do that big leap and go to Fox Sports and do the Undisputed with Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless and be the moderator for that. I always thought, damn, that was quite a leap. That was quite a leap. And no disrespect to her, but I never thought she was like that amazing at her commentary. I always thought it was very interesting. But anyway, Miss Faraji talks about the fact that Miss Taylor, Joy Taylor, basically told her that Charles Dixon awarded her with her job because they was hunching. Mind you, at the time, what makes this even crazier is at the time, Joy is married. Joy is a married woman. As she's having sex with Charles Dixon, she's married to a guy named Richard Guillen, who apparently found out about her hunching Charles, divorced her ass, and had all the receipts to prove it. And so I believe he was able to get Charles to either, this is all alleged now, but he was able to get Charles to, I don't know, I think it was paid for the divorce proceedings or something like that. I think there was something that he had paid for that had to do either with their wedding or their marriage. The husband finds out she hunching Charles, and not only does he get a divorce, but also he gets Charles to pay his ass for some shit that he had to pay for that had to do with their marriage. I'm leaving here with something. Period. I'm back in Miami being a husband, being good to you, and you up there hunching and doing whatever to climb up in the... No, ma'am. But anyway, Faraji also talked about that there was like a work event and she was down to the bar and Charles Dixon came down to the bar and started groping her butt, asking her if she wanted to drink. She said, no, thank you, and please unhand my booty cheeks. And, he just was on her ass and she had to leave. And so she tells Joy this. And Joy is like, girl, Charles is the reason why I'm here. Charles is why I got this job. And please hush. Like, don't say nothing, because if you do, like, we're both going to lose our jobs. At this point, too, she's also doing Joy's hair, okay? So she's doing Skip Bayless hair, she doing Joy's hair. And Joy basically tells her, yeah, get over it, girl. This comes with the territory. That's Charles Dixon. He the boss. He the boss, okay? And so, yeah, so she also talks about the fact that Joy basically told her for sure that she was fucking Charles Dixon, but also she was able to put two and two together and figure out that Joy Taylor and Emmanuel Ancho were also having sex, because then she was able to get her job with Emmanuel. In this section of the lawsuit, February 2020, Miss Taylor asked Miss Faraji to meet her for lunch in Beverly Hills. When Miss Faraji arrived, she found Miss Taylor with a man, Emmanuel Ancho. Okay? Miss Faraji did not know Mr. Ancho, but could tell that the two were romantically involved. So I guess they was shoo-shooing or whatever the case. A few months after meeting Ancho at lunch, Faraji noticed him in the hallway while at work, and Miss Faraji later asked Miss Taylor if Mr. Ancho also worked at Fox. Miss Taylor confirmed, right? And she wanted him to recommend her for a show that he was getting called Speak for Yourself. Okay? And so Faraji is like, girl, listen. Nah, listen, nah. You already hunching Charles Dixon, the head of the network. Please don't hunch Emmanuel too. This was Joy's alleged response. This response is crazy. Miss Taylor told her not to worry about it. She explained that she was also now powerful, because Faraji was like, girl, Mr. Dixon is powerful as hell. Joy's like, girl, I'm also powerful too. And once Mr. Dixon was no longer useful to me, I'll go ahead and follow through with my plan to tell the company that he forced himself on me. This is all alleged now. But this is what Joy told Faraji. That if push comes to shove, I'm just going to go down to HR and tell them that Mr. Dixon forced himself on me. This is diabolical. This is diabolical. Diabolical. Okay? Like, it's already hard for women in corporate spaces, period. But just learning about this lawsuit and the other layer of it too is women in sports. Like, women in sport, people tend to give women a lot of shit in sports. And to find out that Joy Taylor was taking these major leaps because she was hunching everybody, then like there's this new, like there's this deleted, I guess once everything came to light, Emmanuel Osho went and deleted this video of him like basically sucking her up in this video. Hold on.
Got done with rehearsal for the new show Speak, and I got to take a moment to shout out my co-host Joy Taylor. A woman, a black woman, daily show, sports. Do you all realize how hard it is to get into the position that she is in?
It's giving suicide. Like the way the internet was able to pull so many clips of him slurping that lady up. And no disrespect, but I'm sorry, Joy Taylor it wasn't giving all that. It wasn't giving all that, sir. The way the internet has been able to pull so many receipts of Emmanuel going out of his way to slurp her up, and now it makes sense. But as I'm listening to the video, I'm like, black woman, I didn't know Joy was black. I always thought she was Piki Pani. You know, she from Florida. I thought she was Piki Pani. But then again, Joy Taylor, Jason Taylor is her brother. But I just was trying to look up. When I looked her up, I'm like, okay, where's Joy Taylor's parents? Okay, this is her mama. This is her mama. I was like, okay, well, maybe her and Jason share a daddy. I look up Jason. I'm like, okay, can't find a picture of his daddy, but this is his mama too. And it's not giving. It's giving I know black. I'm not seeing no blackness now. Now, I ain't the black police. I'm just saying I'm not seeing no blackness. What was the first titty Joy Taylor suckled on? Shout out to that girl on TikTok. I'm sorry. That video has been a chuck hole. If the first titty you suckled on was your oppressor, what was the first titty Joy Taylor suckled on? I don't see. I know see black. But okay. But then the other thing I was thinking about was, remember at that time, around that time, Emmanuel Osho, he was with Yvonne Orji. 2017 to 2019, he was with Yvonne Orji. And weren't they actually engaged too? Hold on. I know she happy. She ain't with that loser no more. The two together for over a year. Decided to part ways in 2019. So they were together from 2017 to 2019. But every time Emmanuel Osho's name comes up, I'm like, I see why that lady left that man. Was this part of the reason? Because he was down there? Well, no. You know what? Joy Taylor would be 2019, 2020. But that's when him and Yvonne broke up. Hold on. Hey, whoa, hold on. Was Joy Taylor the reason why Emmanuel Osho and Yvonne Orji broke up? I'm just saying. I ain't no mathematician, bitch, but I pay attention. I'm just saying. Okay? But how do y'all feel? Just, Lord, I wanted to go down the Blake Lively lawsuit too, but that's gonna take a whole. Listen, let me drop in the comments. Let me know if you guys want me to do that next episode. I have a lot to say about that too. I have a lot to say. But just thinking about Joy Taylor, the Joy Taylor of it all, right? Being in the industry, I see this all the time. And I've been in positions, I've been part of projects where it's clear that this person is not here because of the talent. And I've always done my best to just like mind my business. Like a lot of times, if you speak to anybody who's like shot anything with me, they'll say like, you might not even know that Jessie's there. I tend to be very quiet on sets just because I've seen a lot of weird shit. I don't want to be a part of the weird shit. A lot of times what happens for me, for instance, is I find out about so much weird shit that took place after the production is over. I'm like, oh, damn, I knew nothing. Because, baby, when I come to work, I go to my trailer, I'm gone. I've always felt like sometimes you're in these environments where you have to suck dick. Like, I hate to say it, but it's like, I'm never going to do that. That's just not me. If you hire me, just know you're hiring me and I'm going to give you my talent. I'm going to give you my best work. But if you think I'm going to come to set and be trying to shoo and suck up to do this, that, I'm not doing that. I'm enough. My talent is enough. Okay? Now, while I may feel like that, there are a lot of women and men who feel that they do have to sleep their way to the top. And there's a part of me that feels kind of not sorry for Joy Taylor, because bitch, you was married. I think she had 2 husbands. I think she's been married twice, if I'm not mistaken. But for sure, she was married. And girl, you was hunching that man while you were married. You're crazy. But I do feel that Joy Taylor might be part of the problem, but she's not the problem. The problem is Charles Dixon. The problem is Fox. The problem is these companies that be knowing that certain stuff be happening and they don't step in. HR in the entertainment space is non-existent. First of all, we all know HR is not there to protect you as the worker. HR is there to protect the entity. They're not there to protect you, right? But think about HR in your workplace, in the office, and then times that times 100. That's what it is in the industry. It is non-existent. The coercion, the sexual harassment that takes place, the assaults that take place. It is so demonic to me. Like, it's just like, it's really insane. Some of the things that I've been privy to, some of the things that I've experienced. I mean, I was on one television show where I was dating someone that was part of my cast. But I remember one time being on set and this man slapped me on the butt in front of everybody. Slapped me on the butt. Like, it was just like to make sure that other people knew, you know what I mean? And it was so demeaning. And it was so hard for me because there were so many other things that were happening that were inappropriate in front of everybody's eyes that I just felt that I had no voice in the situation. And being someone who has always stood up and always spoke up, I think by that time, like, I just was tired. Like, these last couple of years, I just grew so tired and I just felt like, you know what? I'm just going to remove myself. Especially in that particular production, I had gone through several things and I just felt that by that point, it was best for just me to remove myself. And sometimes there's instances where I'm like, yo, I would have had a great lawsuit. I really would have. But my peace. And we're in a state right now where I'm seeing so many giants come down and I just know it's a couple more giants. And I hope I'm alive and well to see it. I hope I'm alive and well to see more of these giants come down. But the Joy Taylor stuff, it's so many layers to it because it's like, yeah, what she did was fucked up, but it's the problem. Like, she's part of the problem, but she's a small part. There is a bigger problem at hand. And it's 2025. And like Cat Williams said, a lot of things was going to be exposed in 2024. And now we're going into 2025. Like, y'all are seeing, it is a snowball effect. And, but while she is part of the problem too, I do want to say this, that a lot of my gripe, even from things that I've experienced, I look at the other women and I'm like, yo, how you as a woman, how do you stand by and see this shit happen? And not only see this shit happen, but like another woman comes to you and complains and you don't stand by her. Like, misogyny has no sex. Misogyny is not only something that men profit from, it's something that women profit from too. Women want to be misogynist. They want to be tied to that too because they're trying to get ahead as well. A lot of them are. Like, this is such a huge discussion that, child, I could be here all day to talk about. But you know what? We're going to move on and we're going to go to Set It Off, I Suggest. Set it off, I suggest. Set it off. Before we go into Set It Off, I suggest, make sure that you're dropping down in the comments, letting me know your thoughts on these stories. Let me know your thoughts on the Joy Taylor stuff. Let me know if y'all want me to give my thoughts on Blake Lively, Blake Lively, and Justin Baloney. Let me know if y'all want me to give my takes on that because I have a lot to say. Maybe we could forward that to the next episode. But let me go ahead and go to the Set It Off, I suggest, child. Hold on. Okay. All right, Set It Off, I suggest, titled, Am I Haitian Enough? Lord God, during Black Women's Haitian Revolution Month. By the way, January 1st was the Haitian Revolution anniversary, okay? January 1st, Haitians, Haiti, we celebrate our independence every January 1st, and we have soup joumou, which is pumpkin soup, squash soup, and I made it for the very first time, and it came out really, really good. But shout out to all my Haitians. Happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Month. And yeah, so let me go ahead and read this. Hi, Jessie. Oh, before I read the letter, by the way, if you want to send me a Set It Off, I suggest letter, send me your letter to jessacouplethingspod@gmail.com. jessacouplethingspod@gmail.com. If you need advice, if you have a dilemma, if you have something juicy you want to talk about, go ahead and send it there. All right. My name is Isaac, and I consider myself a sister. That's hilarious. You may share my name if it'll help others resonate with my experience. Below. First of all, I want to say congratulations on your podcast and your growth as a content creator on social media. I loved your videos dating back to your Haitian commentary videos on IG. I hope that this new year coming will bring you nothing but blessings, happiness, and positive energy. Amen. I hope the same for you. Carrying on, it's been bothering me lately that my Haitian parents and family members are remarking on how I don't know Creole and I don't understand compa when they'll literally have me translate their mail, bills, medical terms, etc. And they'll hear me sing compa all the time. To give some context, I'm a Haitian American, 22. And growing up, I've never had someone teach me Creole such as this is how you say XYZ or this is the proper sentence. Oh, you said this incorrectly. This is how you pronounce it. I only learned Creole through social media influencers and their skits, primarily you. Oh my God. Dang. And I would practice shyly in my room where no one can hear me. On a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is incredibly fluent, I humbly place myself at an 8. As I'll have some hiccups or mispronunciations. Nevertheless, they don't often happen and my family understands me. It's just when I do have these hiccups or they ask me to translate a word into English that I never heard before in Creole, they would say, uba fona Creole, and more hurtful things. You know how our people can be. Yeah, I know. My question to you is, what should I do and how should I respond? I told them before I learned on my own because nobody taught me, and they'll just shrug it off and it'll happen again. With all this, it really has damaged my self-confidence as I'm a prideful Haitian, but my family don't consider me Haitian until I need to play translator. Thanks for reading this, and I can't wait to watch your next episode. This is really messed up, and I'm really sorry that you're experiencing this. Haitians are very mean. It's just like, it is what it is. And it's so funny because I've seen people like, especially like in the HMI section of social media, talk about how mean I am. Meanwhile, like you never see me with any of these people. These people don't know me. A lot of times it'll be just a made up story or they're just coming online, just frankly lying. And I will show receipts to prove that they're lying. And the community will still be committed to not only misunderstanding me, but calling me out my name and saying certain things. I'll give you one example of Haitians being mean. For Independence Day, like I just said, I made soup jumeau for the first time. And this girl comes in my comments and she says, corn in the soup jumeau? Wow, our ancestors are turning in their grave the way y'all jazzing up the recipe. And I told her, girl, our ancestors have better things to roll in their graves about, such as you starting this year off with a capital L as a loser. Like you're a loser with a capital L. The first day of the year, this is what you're choosing to say. And she comes back, she's like, oh my God, you're so sensitive. You're so sensitive. Mind you, the girl came in my comments telling me that my ancestors are disappointed in me. Like bringing my ancestors into my comment section, telling me that I'm a disappointment to my ancestors, right? Instead of just saying something like, I don't like corn in my soup. No, she had to tell me that my ancestors are rolling in their graves because I put corn in soup. And I had to ask this bitch, ma'am, were you around to see the ancestors make soup? You fucking loser. Like, and if you go in the comment section, you'll see, like, there's some Haitians calling me like, oh, you're crazy putting corn in soup. I told this one girl, well, you know what? Next time I'll shove the corn down your fucking throat. How about that? Well, do us all a favor. I'll choke you with it. Like, our people are just so barbaric with the way they talk to each other. And then if you give them the same energy, oh my God, you're mean. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know how to express themselves with consideration and with softness. It's always from 0 to 100, which is why whenever it's time for me to address anybody disrespecting me from the community, I'm going to give you 110 every time. You disrespect me, I'm going to go out of my way to disrespect you, period. Because that's just how our people talk to each other. And it sucks, it's disgusting, it's sad, but I think that that's just how Haitians are. And I think with you, keep doing you. You're doing great. Apprendre créole ou j'en vle apprendre ni. You know, go on YouTube, watch some Haitian movies, go watch I Love You On, watch the Haitian movies. You know, there's so many content creators online, whether they be on YouTube, whether they be on TikTok, that have like these channels that are dedicated to speaking Creole. And I think that you should just continue on that path. And you know what? The next time they do ask you to translate something, say, yeah, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to speak Creole. I don't know if you'd go that far, but baby, that's what I would do. Baby, stop asking me. I ain't got it. I don't got it for you. But I just want to tell you, I'm very proud of you. Keep learning it at your own pace and keep doing you and keep yourself tapped into the community by watching other people who dedicate their channels and their platforms to Haitian history, speaking Creole, Haitian foods. I do that all the time. I have so many of my favorite creators that I follow, and I just suggest that you keep doing the same. And don't let anybody make you feel lesser than. You're not any lesser of a Haitian than a Haitian that speaks more Creole than you. Haiti is in your blood. Haiti is in your blood. Sometimes I've been made to feel like I'm lesser of a Haitian because I was born in Canada. You think I give a fuck? No, I'm Haitian. I'm proud of being Haitian. Every chance I get, I remind people that I'm Haitian because I'm proud of it. I don't care what anybody has to say. And so that's my advice to you. Keep doing you, keep learning, and keep growing, and focus on you. And the next time somebody gets slick with you and your family, tell them, I can't translate. Sorry for you. And that's that on that. I hope that helps. But all right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Just a Couple Things. I know it was a lot, but it's the first podcast of the year. So much has happened. I've watched so much. In the next episode, I want to talk about Missing You on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, please watch that. So I want to watch that. I want to talk about that. I definitely want to talk about the Blake Lively stuff. So let me know if you guys want to talk about that. And as well, I know it's going to be a whole lot of new things that come up for us to talk about. So I'm going to keep my ears to the streets. But y'all, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining me here on Just a Couple Things podcast. Make sure that you follow me on every podcast platform. Also, make sure that you give me 5 stars because it's 2025 and I'm still a 5-star bitch, okay? 5 étoiles. 5 étoiles. All right? And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Just a Couple Things. Take care of yourself and each other. Bye.
Pioneer.